Is the Dolphin Liberty 300 the pool robot you should hand the cleaning chores over to, or is it just another gadget that ends up gathering dust in the garage? Who will actually feel a difference in their weekly pool upkeep? Who might be better off sticking with a manual vacuum? And does the price make sense for a typical homeowner who just wants clear water without a lot of hassle? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started looking at cordless pool cleaners, the biggest red flag for me was the promise of no cords that turned out to be a thinly veiled power cable hidden somewhere in the pool wall. The Liberty 300 really does go cordless, thanks to an inductive charging base that the robot snaps onto when it's done cleaning. In practice, that means you drop the unit into the pool, set the timer, and let it wander. After the cycle ends, it lifts itself up, docks, and starts charging without you having to wrestle with a plug. For families with kids who love to splash, that hands-free removal is a genuine time saver. I've seen it work in a 30-foot in-ground pool where the water is a little on the murky side after a storm, and the robot managed to pick up fine sand and leaf debris without getting stuck on the ladder. The real test, though, is how the robot handles the walls. The Liberty 300 advertises wall scrubbing power, and that's not just marketing fluff. In a pool with a tiled perimeter, the unit actually climbs the sidewalls and scrubs the lower third, where most of the algae and grime tend to accumulate. In my own observation, the scrubber brush makes a visible difference after a single pass. Those brown streaks you normally see after a summer heatwave fade noticeably. That's a big win for anyone who's tired of hand scrubbing the tiles every few weeks. On the flip side, the robot suction isn't as strong as some corded models, so it can miss larger debris like twigs or tennis balls. If you have a lot of foliage around your pool or a pet that likes to fetch, you'll still need to do a quick surface skim before you let the robot run. Another practical point is the size limitation. The Liberty 300 is rated for pools up to 33 feet long, which covers most residential in-ground installations, but it struggles in deeper sections beyond 4 feet. The robot's internal pump can only generate enough pressure to lift water from the bottom of a shallow basin. In deeper zones, you'll notice a slight reduction in cleaning efficiency, especially around steps. For a typical backyard pool with a uniform depth, you'll probably never notice, but if your pool has a deep diving area, you might need a supplemental cleaner. Also, because the unit is cordless, you're dependent on the battery life about 2 to 3 hours on a full charge. That's plenty for a standard cleaning cycle, but if you schedule it for an extended all-day run, the robot will head back to the dock halfway through, leaving the far end of the pool untouched. So who should actually consider buying the Dolphin Liberty 300? If you have a modestly sized in-ground pool, you're looking for a Sitand-Forget solution that takes care of both floor and lower wall cleaning, and you don't want to wrestle with a power cord every time you service the pool, this robot is a solid match. It's especially appealing for busy families, retirees, or anyone who values the convenience of a robot that lifts itself out of the water for charging. On the other hand, if you run a larger commercial pool, have a deep-end design, or your backyard is a forest of leaves and branches, you'll probably end up supplementing the robot with manual scoops or a more powerful, corded system. The price point sits in the mid-range for robotic cleaners, higher than a basic manual vacuum, lower than the top-tier models with multiple cleaning modes. Given the cordless convenience, decent wall scrubbing, and the hassle-free charging system, the value feels justified for the average homeowner who just wants clean water without a weekly chore. Bottom line, the Dolphin Liberty 300 isn't a miracle worker, but it does eliminate a lot of the repetitive work that comes with keeping a pool sparkling. It shines when you need a hands-off solution for a standard-size pool, and it falls short if you have unique depth or debris challenges. If that description sounds like your situation, it might be worth a try. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon.